Do you have the typical South Asian body type where your arms, leg, and face are skinny, but around the waist is a little bit extra? Your weight's completely normal, you actually look thin in clothes, but when the shirt comes off or you're wearing a bathing suit or a sari, you actually look like this. In recent times, this body type is actually called skinny fat. Now you can have this in any part of the world, but it's universal in one population, and that is South Asia. Why is it that South Asians tend to carry more body fat around the abdomen and the waist area? And the reason is, our body types actually function a little bit differently than other ethnicities. When we eat food, especially carbohydrates, you know how the South Asian diet is, roti, rice, you name it. Those calories tend to get stored in our fat cells, not in our muscle cells. And the reason for this is something called insulin resistance. Now, we're more susceptible to insulin resistance, and this causes our body to store fat around our waist and our stomachs compared to other parts of our body. Now, why are we more insulin resistant than other ethnicities? And the answer lies in our genetics. For 11,000 years, since the beginning of agriculture and farming on the Indian subcontinent, there's been times of periodic and consistent famine. Because of where we are geographically and the weather patterns associated with that, there's times where monsoon weather didn't happen over those years. Because of that, there was crop failures and food shortages where millions of people died, and our ancestors had to adapt to this. They actually developed genetics that were famine resistant. That means when times were tough, our bodies adapted to keep a little bit more fat and less muscle. The problem is now when we're surrounded by calories and an abundance of food, we no longer need this extra store of fat and energy that we did to protect us during the famine. That means we're still wired to survive our ancient environment. So in case you've ever wondered why you can't get rid of that last bit of belly fat, or why South Asians are more susceptible to type 2 diabetes, heart attacks, stroke, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, this is the reason. And this is why so many of our older adults and family members who are South Asian have so many health problems. To learn more, hit the follow button. I'll be making more videos on this topic.